Alright, I think we're finally live. We're starting out here at Dell Range Boulevard and Windmill Road. We're out here literally next to Chick-fil-A. It's literally right behind me. We're on the hill. Gonna be probably covering a good 5 miles or more today. We'll see how far we get. Depends how tired I am and what the weather does. It is starting to get windy, but oh well. At least I have an external microphone. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. If you are just catching this live stream on the replay or something, I would like to just wish you guys a happy holidays because that's coming up fast. We got another video coming next weekend. It is a mole video, although I'm not going to reveal for sure exactly which one. I may or may not have mentioned it in the past, but that's besides the point. And there will be one more video before the end of the year, and I'll let you guys know on other stuff as things go. But hey Parker, hey Jasmine, hey Standby News. Everyone's popping in just now, coming in the live stream. I'm gonna wait for just a minute or two and then we'll start walking. I'm doing pretty good, Parker. How about you? Hopefully you're doing well. There goes the bus. It's like right on time too. 1:34, just a couple minutes behind, maybe 2 minutes. That's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I think you should know now, shouldn't you? Oh man, good to hear it, Parker. Hopefully the stream quality is good. The app I've been using unfortunately has infested itself with ads and wants you to do a subscription thing for a single time software, so that's lovely, but it seems like it's letting me go live, so I guess that's good. I think we're going to be heading east from here, and we'll see what happens. It is pretty warm today. It's in the 50s, might even be low 60s at the moment. It is a little bit windy, and it is supposed to get real windy tonight. The good thing is I got a lapel mic, so you'll be able to hear me, but even with the lapel mic, the wind can still butcher the audio sometimes, so hopefully that don't happen. Hopefully they don't get that windy, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, kind of been a crazy year. I really wanted to do a lot more live streams this year, but it just didn't work out that way. So, oh, hi, Cop. How are you doing today? Hopefully you are well. But I want to do more live streams this year, but it's just not how it worked out. I really did. I was hoping to maybe try and do like one a month, but it's just not how things worked out. I've thought about doing like live streams going to other cities and stuff, but the hard part is that it's either a live stream or doing videos, you know? And if I can't really do both. It's very hard and wearing to do both, and it's much more likely that I won't even get my video right. So I usually, well, I shouldn't say I usually, I can't really do one, or I have to do one or the other, you know. Laramie was an exception because there's only one video that I get going to film in that case, so it wasn't as big of a deal to do a live stream that day. But you know, if there's 4 or more places I'm going to film, it's either film or do a live stream. So you know, can't really do much about it. I don't know if maybe doing something where maybe I do oh hey Lee, how are you doing? I don't know if maybe doing something like a driving stream when I go down to a city or up to a city or whatever way I'm going. I don't know if that might be a possibility, but of course I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in or not. Maybe, I don't know. I know Wally does them sometimes, and heck, even Lewis does them sometimes on his channel. Again, two totally, you know, generally unrelated to driving, but you know, whatever. I don't know. It's an idea, I guess, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, I guess, going into next year. Probably want to go about live streaming. Winter, of course, doesn't help either. That also makes it hard, but I don't know. We'll see. Up here on the left, we got a Sonic. I noticed they removed the arrow lights right here at this little entryway. They're still there over there, but not over here. And look at this. I just now noticed this. They don't have anywhere near the amount of drive-up spots now. Look at that. I mean, they have park and eat where you go through the drive-through or whatever, and I guess you can order online maybe, but they have numbers above the signs. So I guess you would have to call in or maybe use the app. I don't know, that's different. Maybe that would work better though, because I know those screens, they give the things you order through when you sit down or park or whatever. I know that gives them a little bit of hectic pain a little bit. It's kind of hard for them to do so well when they do it that way. But I don't know. Over here we have a Take 5 oil change. I think the last time we live streamed, this was not here. There's a Take 5 car there with a Texas plate on it. You can see the arrow, of course. It's still the old retro one. They haven't changed these ones out. Wonder if they're getting rid of them entirely or what they're gonna do, but you know. Are you gonna do a video about the shop on, I'm assuming you mean the Schwab. I think I've already done an article, and that's probably about the most I'll do. If I do a live stream, I might go out that way, but of course today that's definitely not gonna be on the list of things. If I'm lucky, I'll be trying to go to another part of town. But we'll see. It depends on how sore I am after walking 5 miles. But we also have the bicycle station over here too, which also closed. I kind of want to try and maybe do a video of it before it gets replaced. But bicycle station is closed. It does sound. The early word on the street, the rumor, I have to emphasize that. The rumor is a dentist is going to go in here. So if that's the case, then I think a lot of people would prefer that over like a gambling facility or something. I might do a video at some point of this thing if I get around to doing it before it gets replaced, but we'll see. We'll see. You can see it's empty in there though. Bicycle station and Rock on Wheels are both really well-known bicycle shops in Cheyenne, so it is a little bit sad to see this one going. Can see their van out there in the lot. Yeah, probably not in today's live stream. If I do a live stream early next year and I might end up trying to do a live stream out that way. I don't know yet. We'll see. We shall see. But destination Taiwan, it's a little hut that's out here in front of the bicycle station. It's still here along with the billboards. The destination Taiwan was open as of yesterday when I was out in this area, so it is still going even though bicycle station closed. I'm not sure if the having the dentist or whatever ends up taking this over. Not sure if that might affect destination Taiwan or even the ice place, the shaved ice place. Yeehaw, shaved ice. I'm not sure if that might affect it. There's Le Schwab Tire Care, of course, too, or Le Schwab Tires, I guess they could just call it. But this is also new, I believe, since the last time we did a live stream on this section of Dell Range. This was not here before, and now it is. And it replaced a bit of housing, actually. There were like 2 separate buildings of housing in this area. And now those are no more. They demolished them and built this here instead. Yeah. Kind of interesting how that went. I actually found an article in the Wyoming Tribune Eagle talking about a snowstorm that I guess had impacted the buildings that were here. And hopefully this white truck waits for me. Nope. He's not waiting for me. What? That was rude. Come on, man. You could have waited a second longer. I know you probably didn't want to wait for this other traffic. But, oh, well, what can you do? I forgot to take a turn. I totally forgot to take a turn, so we need to actually backtrack just a little bit. I guess that truck turning should have been my sign to not go this way, but oh well. I meant to go into the underpass, but actually that might not be a good idea because I'll lose connection. So I won't go on the bicycle underpass. I do wonder how, whatever takes over bicycle station, I do wonder if that might end up resulting in the removal of that access point to the greenway, because there's no other way to really get to the greenway from that side of the road unless you like hop the fence and scale down the retaining wall. And yeah, I kind of hope that they do something with that. Longmont's former Safeway is getting replaced by Vasa. I think I saw you mention that. Yeah, it is getting replaced by Vasa Fitness. Are you posted or you DM'd me? One or the other. I can't remember which. Oh man. I just posted an article about Bicycle Station though. They were originally over there in the Cheyenne Plaza, and I believe we will be taking a quick pass by that area later today in the stream. But they were in the Cheyenne Plaza, and then they moved over here just a little bit before 2000, I think 1998. It had been around about a decade before that, so they opened in 1991. Excuse me. Yeah, we really need to. We keep saying we're going to do a live stream together, and then we don't. We'll have to make that happen, won't we? Maybe we need to try and do it before Christmas, huh? We'll have to figure something out for that. Alright, I'm going to climb up this hill. I meant to go on the underpass, but I just totally forgot until I was already further down the road. That's alright. A little backtracking ain't gonna hurt. Oh my goodness. I think it's December 11th. I came out here to get photos of Bicycle Station for the article, Optopolis.blogspot.com. And I climbed halfway up this hill to get a photo of Bicycle Station. And the wind was so strong that day that only climbing halfway up the hill, it felt like I had just walked 5 or 10 miles. It was a really windy day. It made my legs sore. I would say more sore than what they are now from just climbing that hill the entire way this time. I want to come up here though for a minute, over to where Menards is. So I want to show the new food stand. The last time I would have done a video or live stream or anything out here, the food stand was not here. Climbing that hill did get my breath going. Alright. Do you know what's replacing the absolute flooring? I do not. I was told by management that they probably weren't going to be able to go there next time. Spirit Halloween, that is. I was told by management of Spirit Halloween that they probably won't be able to go to that spot next time. Because apparently something might be going in there, but I don't know what. And I have not checked up on that space for a few, so I actually really probably should take a quick look at that today or something like that. But, you know, we'll get there. We will get there. So, God, I'm sorry, but I'm blanking on the original name of this, but a new owner took over this little shack, and it's now called Juicy's Burgers, Dogs, and More. Haven't tried it yet, but I did an article about it. They're over here by the outside of the Menards. The shack used to be over at Home Depot, but the previous owners moved over here. And I guess they were having a little bit better luck over here, but I actually saw the owner publicly post on Facebook that the old owner, that is, that moved over here. He had posted that I guess he's wanting to do a food truck. So I don't know if or when that'll come, but you know, if it does, I guess I'll have to do an article about that, since it kind of is connected to the original topic at hand. When did they put the Maybe, I don't know. It's been there for a little while, a few months. It moved a little bit earlier this year. There is, like I said, there is the article over on the blog spot of that as well. I tell you, having my blogspot page where I talk about all this stuff that's happening in Cheyenne has made it way easier for me to just figure out what is happening in Cheyenne in terms of businesses. Like, I can't speak for everyone, but at least for me, I definitely can say it's helped me, because it literally helped me on this live stream. It helped me pinpoint things that I might want to look at today, and depending on how far we get, we might look at those things today, you know? Obviously, Juicy's one of them. I almost spaced it until I looked, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, there's also that. We could go buy that because we probably haven't seen it on the live stream yet. So, yeah, there's definitely stuff happening in Cheyenne. This year has been crazy. This month actually hasn't been too bad. There's only like 2 things that happened, and only one of them I'm strongly interested in reporting on at the moment. Although with the community service center going into the Outlaw Saloon, I might report on it in the future, since obviously the community center is a lot better than talking about alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. You know, if you want to use it on the food, that's obviously one thing, right? I have had food that's cooked and that stuff, but I'm not a drinker. I don't think you should be. If you choose to, that's your choice, but you know, you're doing your own harm to your liver and stuff and like that. All that stuff. I'm not a health professional, by the way. I'm not going to go any further down that rabbit hole, but that is definitely one thing I guess I will talk about as we pass through Cahill Park. I'm going to shortcut through here. It's a little bit better than walking along Dell Range, and a little more peaceful. But that is one thing though, when on my articles, I kind of realized, and I kind of need to double back and let me back up a little bit. So there's usually a lot going on in Cheyenne. This month has actually been pretty quiet, but you know, pretty much all year this past year, there's been at least several things happening in Cheyenne each month, enough to the point that I literally cannot even keep up with it. Like, I can't do every single thing, so I really have to be picky about what I'm going to post. And at that point, I might as well scratch off things I absolutely will not cover. So, unless like really extreme circumstances call for it. So, smoke shops, gambling, anything like that. Obviously, anything liquor related, probably not going to post about that. Same thing with the channel too, by the way. I post less frequently on my channel because I do like to put quality over quantity, and you know, I'm only going to be able to get so far on capturing places, so it's kind of same boat, but even a little bit more strict in that way. I don't know, where was I going with that? It's for that reason that I didn't report on the Outlaw one, and it's, of course, a lot of others reported on it, so it's like, I don't need to. But, you know, with the community center going in there, I do think that would be a topic of interest to maybe report on. Bicycle station, I was almost going to do something at the start, but I didn't get enough info in time for my article back then. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten that info so much now, but there actually was a podcast that helped me out. Thank you, 24 Sound Podcast. There was a podcast that 24 Sound did, local Cheyenne resident that was with the mayor, and that actually cleared up some of my questions in regards to that topic. Hopefully the quality is not crapping out too much as we pass through the park. I know the internet isn't always the best in Cheyenne's parks, but hopefully you're at least able to hear me pretty well at the moment. Hopefully. Do you have a favorite restaurant in Cheyenne? I don't know if I really do. There's certainly restaurants I would say are really good, but you know, I don't know if I have like an absolute favorite. And it'd be very hard for me to pick one because it's like there's so many different types of cuisine. They're like, you know, it'd be like apples to oranges, right? Do you like apples over oranges? I don't know. A bad question to ask. My point is that there's just so many things I could choose that it would be hard to like absolutely pick just one. But there's definitely a number of, what the heck? Oh, it's just a cap. There's definitely a number of restaurants that I think a lot, man, how do I want to put this? I'm trying to think of words here. There's a lot of restaurants that are pretty popular in Cheyenne, and generally I do feel like any of those that are like really well known to Cheyenne residents are going to be good. So ones that are staples, right? So 2 Doors Down, for instance, absolute staple in Cheyenne. It's definitely one of the places to go take people if you're going to gather in a group or something. Poor Decisions, which ironically their truck is just up here. Another one that's become a staple in Cheyenne. They were, I think both them and 2 Doors Down were on that food show or whatever. They have a YouTube channel and they made a whole episode about each of those restaurants and showing their food. I can't think of the name of the channel at the moment, I'm sorry. But it was in the news that they came out here and filmed like those 2 restaurants and some others. There's a burrito restaurant, LINCOLNWAY, that's, again, another staple in Cheyenne. Although I haven't personally tried that one. I need to sometime. I keep thinking I will. Yeah, Poor Decisions puts up this truck all over town, this Jeep. It's a Jeep Gladiator, and they keep putting skeletons in it. Was unintentional to be walking by there when they, with the truck there. That's completely unintentional. I had no idea that was there. But yeah, there's a number of it. Any of them, they're like staples, generally pretty good. Even if they're not staples though, that doesn't mean they're bad. There's definitely plenty of really good ones. You know, even the one in the airport. Why am I forgetting names so bad today? Names are not coming to mind, but the Nelly's, there it is. The Nelly's in the airport, that's pretty good. Still keep meaning to try their meatball sub. Was the First National Bank of Omaha here last time I did a live stream on this section of Del Range? I think I did a video about back during the construction. I put a video up where I checked out a whole bunch of new stuff happening in Cheyenne, and I think I mentioned it there. But I don't know if I put it in a live stream before. So they took over a vacant plot of land that was originally supposed to be that place that's, God, why can't I think of names right now? I'm so bad today. There's that Krautburger place that's out in Scottsbluff, super well known there. Cannot think of it right now. But they were originally supposed to build a location there, but unfortunately things didn't go that way. So, you know, is what it is. But let's see. Glad you're enjoying it, Lee. Super glad. 2440 Del Range. That's back the other way, isn't it? I'm trying to think of where that is. And of course, there's not much address markers. I have to look at the sign to know where I'm at in relation to that. I think we're in the 4400. So that would be back near Walmart, right? I think near Walmart. And I won't be able to see that. So I'm gonna pop over here for just a moment. Just because I want to see if there is a sign on this. So there's a statue here that just has always been, it's been here as long as I can remember. Looks like it's the same person as the one over there in the park across the way. So there's a sign here that says it's dedicated to a whole bunch of people in the 1985 flood. And then there's the bird, and it says The Great Blue by Rich Haynes. Okay. So one thing I've been trying to do in the last, I don't know, couple of months, 3 months, something like that, is update OpenStreetMap with the latest info. It's previously, before I gotten in there, that thing was so far behind that OpenStreetMap was so far behind in like being up to date with stuff in Cheyenne that it was kind of pitiful, honestly. You know, for a platform that should be like pretty up to date, it was really, really not up to date. I've added like all the into there. And this statue had caught my attention, something that was not listed at all. Same with a lot of other statues, and there's just a lot of map features that are blatantly missing from it. So I've been trying to update it. Google Maps, I still try to keep that updated too, because at the end of the day, a lot of us rely on that, whether we want to admit it or not, and whether we agree with Google or anything. So I've been trying to keep those updated a little bit as kind of part of my journey, in addition to everything else. And I just did that wrong, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. We're good. There's just a lot of stuff that is missed. There is a mile marker right here, mile 5 1/4. I don't remember that being right there, but maybe I've just forgotten. I can't remember. All right, we're gonna cross this way and hopefully. Nope. Will this one wait? Nope. Nope. How many are we gonna have to do? Is this Jeep gonna wait? It's like, dude, really? It's like I'm trying to go here and you won't let me. And there's a cop right there, dude. Go get him. Go get him. I kind of tried to point his attention that way, but I don't think it worked. Oh, it did. Please go get him. Go get him. He needs to pull like 5 cars over, man. 5 cars. And that city, or whatever vehicle that was. Maybe that was a third-party company, but maybe he'll go get him. Come on. Doesn't have his lights on, but I hope he saw that. I hope that he gets them. They should be pulled over for that, because I had the right of way. I was in the street. There is no reason for any of those guys to stop or not stop. Oh goodness, I love American infrastructure. It sucks so bad. It makes you want to cuss people out so bad, and you can't, because otherwise that becomes road rage. Where was I? Lost track of my train of thought there a little bit. All right. Anyway, so back to business here. I'm overwhelmed a little bit by that. That's insane. Look at that. Somebody just pulled out. That time they have a yield sign. They have a yield sign. I tell you, slip lanes in a city are a bad idea. Never ever do slip lanes in a city if you're watching. I know that for Cheyenne, in this case, it's like a old thing that still exists from way back when, but never ever do that. It doesn't work. Doesn't work, because people end up going around the corner too fast, and then they don't wait for pedestrians and cars going the other way. Anyway, next to Once Upon a Child. There you go. So it's a little bit past window. All right. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Maybe not. Oh, there it is. So, how are you doing, Transmaster? How are you doing? And he says, I missed the owlin that used to be on Yellowstone. Well, I guess technically Yellowstone. It's a little bit more over there off of Central, right? Right? Just next to the Blue Bank. It used to be Warren. Anyway, that's best Taco John's in town. You mean this one? It's hit or miss. It depends on the crew. If you have a good crew, Taco John's is always good. If you have a bad crew, it can go either way whether the service is good. Okay, I don't think I've shown this on a live stream. So the come and go is now Maverik, and of course the same thing with the other come and go up there on the Ridge and LINCOLNWAY. The one thing I actually will say with slip lanes, actually, before we cross the street, Fort Collins kind of does it a little bit better, because they actually have a raised level crossing that forces cars to slow down on a lot of their slip lanes. Not all of them, but a lot of them, and it is good when they do. But anyway. All right, let's go ahead and cross. There we go. That's one thing that I think I know Boulder does, and I think, is it Boulder? I think Boulder. I think Loveland. downtown Loveland. And I think Fort Collins, I think they all do. They give pedestrians an advance signal where it turns cross for pedestrian before it turns green for the cars, and it's to give more visibility to pedestrians when they're crossing, right? Makes sense. I think there's one intersection here in Cheyenne that does that. It's over there by Cary on Pershing. I think that light does it, if I remember right from the last time I crossed there. It usually does some form of advanced crossing. Sometimes I've had it literally just stay all red when I'm crossing there too. So I haven't quite figured out how they have that programmed, but you know, it's one of the few that actually is better. I wish they put that advanced cross stuff. So, yep, I read that right. That's all right. Go get some food and stay safe, man. Let's see. That's pretty good timing, actually. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Got more than a half hour before I need to be ready to go another direction. All right, a little less than a half hour, about 20 minutes. I might actually need to hurry a little bit. Hold on a minute, let me look at my list. We got a couple things over here I want to look at. I want to just show the payphone on this stream. I don't know if it works. Me and Jeremy had tested in one of his live streams, the payphone over here at Loaf and Jug. Well, it's King Soopers gas now, but still has Loaf and Jug logos. He had tried taking off the phone to hear into it, and it didn't sound like it had a ringtone. Now, of course, I know sometimes they make you pay before you get a ringtone. As far as I understand, anyway. He was on his phone. As far as I understand, so when he had tried it, he didn't hear any ringtone, but that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't work. Fortunately, I don't have coins or small change at all to test it, but it is there, so I'll take a look at it as we head over to the next spot. Let's see. I got time. I got about half hour. We're pretty good. About half hour. You guys will know soon enough, but why I'm saying that. But anyway, what do you mean? How are you doing, dude? Are you in New Jersey right now? Cool. 48%. I'll probably want to plug my phone in by the time we get to the second part of the stream. All right. You can see it's King Soopers gas, but they still have a Loaf and Jug logo. Yeah, it's still here. The one out on the one at Safeway Gas on South Greeley is gone. It's been gone for years. But this one is still here, I guess. Does it work? Who knows? But it is here. Don't see them around, do ya? Oh, you're returning after Christmas. Okay, that's cool. Hope you enjoy your time out in New Jersey. I think I know of one, maybe two creators out there in that area. Looks like they're doing some roof work up there on this blue bank. Yeah, they have banks all over town. We're gonna go this way until these cars pass. All right, there we go. So one thing I marked on my things I wanted to do, capture, is the Cosmo Prof over here. The Cosmo Prof, I guess they had like all kinds of beauty supplies, if I'm not mistaken. It's not here anymore. It closed. Got a lot of test footage I might try to put on the Volt, and I think one of them was also looking at this space, but it is for lease. we'll quickly go around back because I think the King Soopers pickup area is around back of here. It moved back there, God, a little while back. I can't even remember exactly when, but there's a look inside. King Soopers does have gas stations. Even the one in Fort Collins, a brand new one, the Marketplace, they have their own gas station. I don't know if Kroger really does it. I imagine Kroger's probably what you're a little more familiar with, but here in this area, there are King Soopers with King Soopers gas stations. Here we go. Yeah, they have the pickup area back here now for the curbside. It used to be in front, but one thing I noticed is that after they put that curbside thing in the front, it made the area really, really congested. So they end up taking over the old Hallmark Gold Crown store for the pickup interior area, right? The area inside where they store all the products there for to go and all that, get orders ready, whatnot. They took over the Hallmark Gold Crown though, and they actually removed the old section and kind of restored it back to what it used to be. So they, before they moved it, they had a section that they built into the area next to the beverages, and that kind of shrank the interior store floor down a little bit for the pickup. But then when they moved it, they removed all the walls, so now it's almost like what it used to be a long time ago when I was a kid. Except, of course, not all the tile and updated paint and all that, but you know. I meant to write this one down, but I didn't. Hong Kong restaurant is still here, but they had a car drive into their door there. I don't know if they're open right now or not. There's a lock on the door, so maybe not. But you know, a car had driven into the window, so it broke the window, and I don't know when they'll repair that. So yeah, this space right here all used to be Hallmark Gold Crown, and now it's the pickup area. So when you're going to the bathrooms inside King Soopers, you can kind of just look over that way. You know, don't go back there because it's employees only, but you know, you can kind of peek that way, and you can actually see that area is being used for the pickup stuff. So just throw it out there if you happen to be in King Soopers here, but. Just something I noticed in the past when I've gone to the back. Haven't noticed this. You can see it right from the public store floor. Well, the public hall, because it's more of a hallway. Let's see, I think there's one more place, maybe two more places over here that I want to take a look at. Maybe three. If King Soopers has gas stations and Kroger's have them too, I'm thinking. I'd imagine. The thing is with King Soopers, Kroger had acquired King Soopers, right? So King Soopers wasn't originally Kroger. King Soopers was a Colorado thing that expanded into Wyoming, and you know, it's a regional chain, and they ended up acquiring it, and that's how you have all the Kroger branding on King Soopers now, and at least part of it. I'm not going to look at that space because I don't want to bother someone who's relaxing over there, but there is a Edward Jones that we just passed that had closed a financial office. There's still this space that's vacant as well, and I cannot remember which was the last business in here, but it's still vacant. Still looks same as it has for a long time. We shop at Soopers, preferable over Albertsons, says, what do you mean? Welcome back to my news. Fair enough, I guess. I think it depends on what it is. There's definitely things where you're not going to be able to get King Soopers or maybe that is potentially better at Albertsons, but it goes the other way too, where Albertsons doesn't have something or King Soopers does it better or whatever. All right. I appreciate that, Transmaster. Much appreciated, man. Thank you for that super sticker. So right here, just want to point this out. This is just an infrastructure thing. I can't not point out. I wish they had put a ramp here. They probably didn't because of the fire hydrant, but I wish they put a ramp here where it goes a little bit more towards that direction, but they didn't, so it's what it is. But you know, at least they put in a ramp, and they did put in a sidewalk. They connected the sidewalk to the neighborhood back here with this new Brakes Plus. It didn't used to be this way. It used to be completely fenced off. You couldn't even do this before. Like if you wanted to go to this area back here, had to go back there and sneak through a spot where the fence had been removed. But now you can just use the sidewalk, which is super nice. It's not perfect when you get over there because it's a dirt road, and I think it's a county road too, but I think this property was previously addressed to the street back there too instead of Dell Range, but right now it is addressed to Dell Range. So this is 3522 Dell Range Boulevard. Brand new Brakes Plus, just down the street from the other one that is still neighboring with, well, kind of connected to. They put in a sidewalk right here that goes all the way down to Ridge Road, because you have to either walk in the grass or in the gutter like this. That's your only two options. And it's not exactly handicapped accessible if you're going to go in the grass. So, yeah, okay, we're going to cross before the other car gets over here. So I do hope they eventually put a sidewalk there. And it could have been the fire hydrant, could have even been the pole there, because you can see the electric lines. I don't know if I can zoom in. You can see the electric lines that come down at that angle too. So it could have been them for why they did the angle weird on that corner, but you know, at least they put in a ramp. And I do hope they eventually put in a sidewalk, but for now, we're gonna just walk in the grass. Yeah. Brakes Plus is definitely a chain. In my area, they tend to be combined with Advanced Auto Parts, but in general, it is a chain. They have locations all over the place. Same thing with Advanced Auto Parts. So, you break up every so often. So it's probably because of the area I'm in where it just isn't as good of a connection. I apologize for that if it is breaking up at all. It's pretty much impossible. Backups. Excuse me. So I'll say this, me and Standby Knees use the same provider, all right? It's the same company we both go through, and for us, you know, we do have those spots where the quality is hit or miss. There's no other service that's going to do better here in Cheyenne. Have a, man, look at the Brakes Plus from here. I don't know, it's hit or miss. I do think the one I'm on right now is probably about the better one if you're in Cheyenne. I will say that a long time ago when I was a kid, we had Sprint, and Sprint was not the basically, except it wasn't Sprint, that was even worse. Because of course Sprint's gonna get the priority in that case on that line. Think of what that one was, but Sprint, you know, went out into the middle of nowhere. With the service I have right now, I do actually have halfway decent service. If I go into like Vitavoo or, you know, Sprint, I wouldn't have had anything. It's hit or miss up there too, I will say that. I do have spots where it's made the sidewalk a little more direct, because the way they did it, it kind of leads you to want to go into nowhere. There's nowhere to go from there. Whereas if they had done a little different angle on that ADA accessible path, it would have been more direct to the spot across the street, and you know, could have had potential to connect it a little bit better. It's better than it used to be, and I do hope they expand that sidewalk, because right now you do have to go on the grass, which if you're disabled on a wheelchair, that might not be so good, or you have to go in the road, which obviously isn't good for anyone when there's not really a dedicated spot for people to walk. So that is one thing that always bugged me about that road, and I'm glad that they've kind of started a little bit of a sidewalk there. I use Mint I don't know what TMO means. I've heard of Mint. I don't know much about it. Isn't that the one that keeps getting advertised on the YouTube videos all the time? I keep seeing it on the YouTube ads. But anyway. I don't know. I would not be able to answer that if they're like hotspots or not. I haven't ever really tried that. I have my own little hotspot thing I'll use for like connecting my computer or whatever sometimes, but besides that, I don't know. Oh, T-Mobile. Oh, got it. T-Mobile in a nutshell. What was that one? I almost was going to go by there and I didn't. There's a spot over there at Converse and Del Range that had that other one by T-Mobile. It's Metro by T-Mobile. And that closed, and now something else is there. Some kind of other thing I cannot even remember the name of right now. It's not a service I would probably use, so. Yeah. Probably gonna need to go ahead and plug my phone in now because my phone is starting to get a little bit low. And I don't want to have a situation where my phone dies on me in the middle of a stream. It's happened a few times. I was almost going to maybe start at Walmart, but it's like, well, the distance. I got to think about the distance and where all I want to go. So it's like, I got to kind of skimp somewhere a little bit, right? I have not cover one thing in order to cover something else. At least that is one thing with the live streams I actually do kind of like. I can cover a lot more places, at least having a reference. Oh man, the bus is a little bit behind this hour. No, actually, it's on time. It's right on time. Never mind. I stand corrected. What was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, I was going to start a little bit further down range, but, you know. Again, I have thought thinking about distance. Oh, yeah, now I know where I was. So the live streams are nice because I can cover a lot more places, right? The pitfall is that it's not necessarily as good of quality and more likely of having the lag and crap. Probably can't go inside of places unless I had like explicit permission because it's going to be freaking awkward carrying a big old gimbal with a phone on it a bit around a store. That would be kind of awkward, you know. Sometimes obviously filming or whatever actually is a good thing, but sometimes it's not. And when it's not, you end up having people get really, really mad at you for even if you weren't pointing the camera at them. But of course, it can go the other way too, where if you have a smaller camera and they see it, that can also freak them out. You know, there's definitely some people out there that just, for whatever reason, even though they're in public, they have no expectation of privacy there. They, for some reason, seem to think they do. And I don't know why. Don't know why. It's not everyone, by the way. It's very rare. I talked about this a little bit in the podcast that I was on 24 Sound, right? I mentioned that in the last notification. He invited me to be on the podcast, and when I was in there, you know, I kind of talked about it a little bit. Most people generally are okay with filming it, I find. They're at least neutral and usually even supportive, but there are definitely a few people out there that for one reason or another, they don't like it, and it pisses them off, and then before you know it, you're probably going to get kicked out of a store or something. So it's like you kind of have to find a balance between like being obvious enough to where it's like, yeah, I'm recording, but also not coming across as though it might be someone doing undesirable behavior, right? Unfortunately, there are people out there like that do really undesirable behavior on camera, and it sucks. It makes people who do good things on camera look bad, in a way. It's just like how in the urban exploration community, right? You usually don't want people going in, breaking in or breaking things, or, you know, the leave footprints motto, right? Leave only footprints. It's kind of the same deal there, because it's like that also, you know, same kind of deal where it makes others who don't do that stuff look sketchy, huh? In a way. Anyway, that was a little rant. Sorry about that. One thing that stands out in Cheyenne is the drainage infrastructure. There's a lot which surprised me, as I thought it was arid. There's definitely a lot. There's definitely a lot of creeks and stuff. That's one thing with the greenways. And in addition to just being a way for people to walk, safely. The greenways are also, in many cases, meant to be kind of part of the floodplain. So a lot of times if there's a really nasty rain, the greenway... All right, hopefully we're back. Let me know if we're back. I hope we are. Hope we're on the original stream link and that I don't have a new link going on. If I do, then so be it. I guess this will have to be part 2 if that's the case. Are we on the original stream link? What do you mean? Can you tell me if we're on the original stream link or a new stream link? So my phone had died even though I had it plugged in. I had it plugged in, it was charging fine, but you know, it still died down. There's at one time I could plug my phone in at like 10% and it would be fine. Okay, good, thank you. There's one time where I could, start a stream. My phone would get to like 10%. I could plug my phone into my gimbal and it would charge just fine. And it wouldn't be an issue. But nowadays, it seems like even if it's at 21%, which it was this time, it ends up not doing so well. And it ends up going all the way down to 0 anyway, until it, of course, now we're at 2% and it's hopefully going to charge up a little bit more. Hopefully. I didn't think about grabbing my other power bank, but oh well. At least I have my gimbal. I can always charge off the gimbal. This is one thing I like about the Automobile 3. I can charge off of my gimbal without necessarily having to have anything else. It reminds what do you mean of Jack Nicholson or The Shining? In The Shining. Yep, there you go. I'm thinking about The Shining now. God dang it. I'm thinking about it in my head. It's funny. It's funny. It's good stuff. Oh my goodness. 1%. The phone might die again. Was with my gimbal not in all the way. It says it's charging. Well, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll turn my gimbal off. Put this down somehow. Try not to break my cords. Hold on, guys. Sorry for the jiggly. There we go. And then we'll do this. Then it can charge. And hopefully not. Is it really doing that? Wow. I've never had it do that to me before. Well. Yeah, it's probably going to die. I don't know what my gimbal's doing. It's not working right. It should not even be doing what it's doing right now. Yeah, it should not be doing this at all right now. What the heck? I'm having like serious issues here. I'm gonna uh-oh, there went my phone again, I think. Maybe not. Whatever. I tried. It's not gonna work. I probably should have just left it on. And now it's gonna try to go that way. Come on, go this way. You pain in the butt. Alright, come on. Gimbal, come on. Why are you doing this to me? It's not even working right now. This is what I get for talking about how good the Osmo is, and then it fucks up. Well, it's not going to work. Yep, I'm still here, but hopefully my phone doesn't die. It's at 1%, and with the wind blowing a little bit of a chill over my phone, it's not going to go so well. Yep, you probably heard my gimbal turning on and off because I was trying to get it to go into like the sleep mode thing so it can charge without, being on per se. But it wasn't doing that. It kept wanting to go into gimbal mode even though the freaking thing was literally shut up so it couldn't. I hate technology sometimes. I feel like the Automobile 3 is probably about the best gimbal of the bunch. Because the newer ones have that stupid magnetic crap that you know at some point something's going to go horribly wrong with that MagSafe or whatever the frick they call it. And with the older ones, you didn't have a way of like really properly putting it on a tripod or even plugging the phone in. You couldn't do that on the older ones. So that thing, I mean, it worked good for what it is, but I couldn't plug in a microphone. I couldn't plug my phone in. Couldn't anything because of the way they designed it. This one's designed like perfect almost. It's exactly what I want, but of course it still has the problems of registering. For some reason right now it's not wanting to do what I want it to do, which is what it usually does, but it anyway, I'm not gonna keep going. Still at 1%, so maybe we'll be okay. It could be the cold. That's the one reason I won't do a walking stream in the freezing cold weather anymore. Because every single time when I try to do a live stream in the cold weather, my phone ends up having the battery go a bit bad, right? It gets to the end of its power cycle really quickly. And when I plug it in, usually it will kind of work, but you know, of course, if it gets down 21%, apparently that's not good enough anymore. I guess I need to plug it in at 50%. Maybe I need to plug it in from the start. I don't know. Still remember when the McDonald's over here had a different look. Only distantly. A lot of that has faded a little bit, my memory of it, but yeah. Of course, my GoPro cable's all twisted now. It sucks when technology wears out, man. It really sucks. I don't like it when technology wears out, but you know, it's going to eventually. Sign of the times. Maybe it's time to finally see about a new phone. I am actually impressed how well my phone battery still does. After all these years, I've had this phone since like 2016, thereabout. There's a bus. Good. I've had this phone since like right around 2016, and it's still doing pretty good. I had an S2 when I was a kid. Well, sort of a kid, not kid, but kid, younger, elementary years, but I had an S2, and that thing, Bentley says hi. Hi, Bentley. I've had it since 2016 though, and I am impressed at how well the battery's done at holding up. But yeah, I don't know how busy the bus will be. We'll see what happens. Hi.
Am I on camera?
Maybe.
You do YouTube?
I'm doing a live stream on walking around Cheyenne today. Yeah, so yeah, I'm on YouTube. Yep.
Do you have a channel?
Yeah, Optopolis.
What is it?
Optopolis.
Automotive?
Optopolis. Yep.
Oh, we'll have to look you up.
Yeah, I do all kinds of retail stuff. Headed over to the a little bit further south of here, so gonna wander around probably the Albertsons area now.
Yeah.
So
We'll have to like your channel.
say again.
We'll have to like your channel.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll be your new subscribers.
There you go. Yep. The advertisement. Man, so I want to see if I can get over here for a minute, and then we'll switch back to the other side, hopefully. So you'll see why. There's a spot over here on Ridge. On the spot they closed up a little while back. They still have their mobile unit, but they let their facility go behind, and it's because they found a new chapter. We're gonna drive right by it, and then I'm gonna hopefully try to sneak across the other side and show you guys the Ridge Road. Plaza that I did a video of a little while back. Oop, there it went. Now my gimbal did what I want. Yes, there's the on the spot. Right. Let's sneak back over here. There you go. Up here on the left we have the Ridge Road Commons Plaza. They've been building it, and as of today, they were working on more of the trees. I do think it's a little risky putting trees in the winter, but the car wash is getting there, and I do think it will probably be open by probably early next year at the latest. That's my theory, not confirmed. See the new entry. And it's getting there. Did you find it?
No, I was just gonna ask you how you spelled again.
Okay. Let's see. One second. Let me see if I can do something here. Be on the next stop. Come back here. Sneak back here. There you go.
I don't mind being on camera.
Okay, no worry. Yeah. Optop. Opollis.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did you get
IS. Yep.
Okay.
IS. Yep.
All right, there we are. See if I can.
Yep. There you go. Right there.
Oh,
Yep.
send that to me so I can subscribe as well.
There you go. Yeah, I just was over there at the bicycle station and all that area. So.
Oh yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you gone down?
It depends on if I feel like it when I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how I feel after walking a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Happy
Thank you.
happy holidays.
Yes, you too. Perhaps you get off
All
with
right.
you.
All right, cool. There you go. Have a great day. Thank you so much. So I don't know if we'll get back on the bus or not. We'll see. It depends on how I feel further down. If I feel like it, then we might go a little bit more. But we do got a good couple miles to walk now. So it depends on how I feel after that for if we go farther. And I am going to have to readjust my cord here and hopefully not have my gimbal die on me. I love technology so much. Let's try this. Maybe that'll be a little better. All right. So I want to start over here. We're going to go over in front of these businesses. There's a few things over here I want to cover, and we'll go from there. I don't know if my phone might die. I hope not. It's at 1% still, guys. What usually ends up happening when my phone gets to this point in the past is that it will charge up to a certain point and then it won't charge anymore. It'll just kind of stay there when I have it plugged in. And for some reason, it's being like that at 1%, which makes me very, 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 very anxious. But, you know, we're going to make the best of it. And, you know, maybe in the future, we'll try to do a little more driving streams too, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. Today I specifically wanted to do a walking stream, so yeah. I tell you though, if the buses had worked, or I shouldn't say that worked, if they were running back in like 2021, 2022, you know, back then when I was doing like a lot of live streaming, I do think it would have been game changer because I could have covered so much more ground in one live stream, even for biking streams. Because, you know, the buses have a spot where you can throw 2 bikes. So you can throw a bike on the bus and there you go. I don't know if I can be upset because I know they're, you know, he had the pandemic and a whole bunch of other stuff that was causing him to not do it as much. And so I can't be mad, but it would have been cool if it was, because I think that would have been game changer. Would have been worn out a lot less. God, I still remember that one live stream. At the end, I was worn to a bone really bad from a biking stream. Between cycling from northern Cheyenne all the way over to this area, I should say northwestern Cheyenne, all the way to this area, and then all the way back over to the south side of Cheyenne. That was a long ride, and I also had to ride all the way there in that case, I think. So I was already worn out to begin with a little bit, but not nearly as bad as I was at the end. And you know, at the end, after the live stream, I had actually, when I got home, I realized I'd way overworked myself, and it wasn't a pretty sight on the ground. I'm just gonna say that. I don't want to get like super vulgar here, but you know, I made a mess on the ground after having so much water that day. It was a really hot summer day, so that probably didn't help any. That probably didn't help any. Because at the time I was actually pretty in shape, but I had also chugged a lot of water that day. So that stream, I don't know if it's public anymore, but like I had, you know, probably chugged, god dang, I bet more than a gallon of water at one time, and that was not a good thing. I was desperately thirsty, so I couldn't help it. But simultaneously, I drank so much water that it wreaked havoc on me. So we're now over here at Pershing and Ridge. This is in front of the East Albertsons, maybe. Sorry, I had a flashback. Anyway, this is over here by the East Albertsons, and this is the old USA gasoline. So this area was supposedly going to become a Dunkin', but that didn't end up happening, and it does sound like they've all but pulled out of doing that for one reason or another. So now the gas station is, you know, vacant still, and you can still see there's a lot of stuff left behind. I did a video of this, so I'm not going to stand around and do too much over this thing, but they did remove the pumps and the overhang, and it was fenced off for the longest freaking time, and then they finally opened it back up. Oh yeah, you did. Yep. Yeah, you came by and gave me some water too. I was desperately thirsty. The sun and cycling both really sucked the water out of me. So it's like I was desperately thirsty, but then I ended up drinking too much, and I regretted it hard. It was not fun. Anyway, the bus driver, real quick. I can't help but talk about it because it's going to bother my brain until I say it. I did avoid getting him on camera, but it is possible that maybe it happened without me knowing. I had the camera pointed towards the floor, but you know, life happens, and I wasn't actively paying attention the whole time, so yeah. Anyway, it's public bus, so you know, I don't think there's real expectation of privacy, but anyway, I digress. Dunkin's is popular in New Jersey. I don't like them. It says, what do you mean? Yeah, we used to have a Dunkin' over there on LINCOLNWAY, next to McDonald's. I don't think we'll be going there today, but we used to have the Dunkin' over there, and you know, it's not there now. They have one on base. They finally opened a new Cheyenne location, but you have to be 18 plus to get to it because they put it inside of one of those gambling places. The one that's way out there on I-80 and College and that area. I shouldn't say College, but the road that College runs into. Can't think of the name of it. It's out by the Welcome Center, but you have to be 18 plus or whatever, 21 plus, whatever the age limit is to get in there, because of the gambling thing. So you can't just go in there if you're a kid or something, you know. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll see how I've worn out I am for if I go downtown. I'd like to go downtown today. That's kind of what I was kind of hinting at earlier. I'd like to, but I might be worn out by the time we get done with this live stream or get around these next couple miles. I might be worn out because although I am trying to stay in shape, I haven't done nearly as long walks in a long time. So in recent times, you know, maybe a couple miles, usually not more than that. So I'm not nearly as up to par to be able to do the long walks. Plus, it might be getting dark and cold by then. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The old candy shop, Dee's Candy Shop. Was he on the camera? Well, he might not have been explicitly on camera because of the backside, but anyway, enough about that. Anyway, as I said, Dee's Candy used to be there. I think this is supposed to come... God, I can't think what this is right now. I'm just blanking. It's supposed to become some kind of wellness place, I think. I don't think chiropractic is the right word for this particular one. And then, of course, you got the MRC discounts. And over here you have the pole. God, they haven't... I guess they put in a new pole, but they haven't removed the old one. A car had crashed into this pole, and I filmed it. I think Standby News also came out and filmed it. And he ultimately did a video on his channel, I think in combination with his footage and mine. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. Yes, after all that walking, yeah. When I was a kid, okay, here we go. We probably shouldn't go down this road, but I'll go down it, screw it. So when I was a kid, we did these long walks. I mean, long walks. We did 10 miles in one day, and we do that 3 times a week in the summer. And occasionally in the winter. Occasionally, not always. We do anywhere from like 8 to 12 miles, but 10 was a pretty good mile. So you could pretty much circle Cheyenne at that point on foot, or at least the core of Cheyenne, right? Maybe not going on the outskirts, but it's a long walk. Hey, my phone's at 2%. Yay! It's a good walk. So we did that a lot when I was younger. So it's like I'm familiar with what it's like to walk that far. But it's just that in the last year, I definitely have not been doing anywhere near that. Hell, for the last 5 years, really. God, there's so much that's happened over the last few years. I mean, I think I've done videos about this. I had my scooter accident in Boulder that one year that screwed me up there a little bit. I had to take 3 months to heal from that, and even went so far as to get scanned to make sure I didn't bust anything, because that was a really hard hit. Probably was doing over 5 miles an hour and flew way over the handlebars. Oh my God, that was a crazy day. There's that instance, and there's just one thing after another after that for me. Whether it was things otherwise outside of my control that I had to deal with, or if it was, cycling maybe a little bit too much and ending up straining the crap out of my groin area. Oh my goodness, that was another disaster. That is the whole reason that, I think it was last winter now? Was it the winter before? I can't remember. Might have been the winter before. It was winter before, I think. Or was it this winter? I think it was last winter. I ended up making it, doing kind of a, how do I want to put it? I put myself into a habit that I would have to walk every single day. Every single day. And I didn't miss a day for 6 months straight. Every single day I went out and walked. Once my groin was starting to feel a little bit better, so I could hopefully get back into shape, and eventually I did. So that was kind of the first time where I was, doing 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 on occasion, miles at a time. And then this summer I kind of faltered a little bit, didn't do nearly as much walking. Still cycled a little bit, I think, but yeah, I cycled a little bit. I actually wasn't doing the slow roll this year. But I didn't go as hard on the cycling this year. I rode at slower speeds. And back when I did the cycling streams, I was easily cycling 15, 20 miles an hour. Unless I was going uphill, I was going easily 10 to 15. These days, when I do cycle, I don't usually exceed 10 unless I'm going downhill. I don't push myself hard on that anymore. It's too risky to strain at my groin again, and it's just not necessary because it ends up making us sweat and everything too. This truck's gonna wait. we got the next Maverik up here. So this was also a come and go, and the last time I showed it on the channel it was still come and go. Now it's Maverik. I think there's still some come and goes out west, or I'm sorry, out east near the Kansas area and stuff, but I know they're trying to phase the come and go brand out entirely. They're originally supposed to already have it gone, but there's still some stores out there that I don't think they've converted yet. They've closed a lot of stores too, especially smaller come and goes. They've closed those big time. Excuse me. I'll look at your chats in a second. Sun's kind of in my eye at the moment. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. All right. There you go. There's a Maverik sign. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember if I've gone into this one since it converted to Maverik, but I've been in the other one. God, that was a thing I did all the time when I was a kid. We would, at night, we'd always end up come and go and get a bunch of nachos and cheese and have that as like a nighttime snack. Oh, that's a good time. Don't do that too much these days, but that's okay. At the end of the day, the nachos and cheese is not necessarily healthy, so I'm not going to complain, but still was a good time when I did that. That's good old days. Alright, we're going to have to wait for the light. Alright. No, on camera all the time. Yeah, oh yeah, you're right, yeah. Yep, 100%. On the buses, they do have cameras pointed at everyone. So there's a camera pointed right at the driver. There's a camera pointed towards the bus going usually front to back. There's a camera usually looking out the door. And there's cameras all the way around the bus. Now the cameras around the bus also get used for the bird's eye view. I've just observed that over the years of riding the buses. They have a bird's eye view that they can enable that will let them see. They think they even have like a back camera on the back they can use as a backup camera too. God, that sun's so harsh. I'll look at the chats again in a minute. But yeah, they have multiple cameras on those buses. And there's probably other cameras I'm not even thinking of right now. Those are just the ones I've happened to notice over the years I've taken the bus. It's just, can't help but see it at some point. It's a pretty tight and closed space. There's not a lot of other places to look, you know. So he is on camera all the time, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all, but anyway. That was funny. That was a different interaction. The last time I did a walking stream here in Cheyenne, we did take the bus. I think we took the east bus that time. I think if I remember right. And nobody said anything that time until like halfway into the ride. But then this time it was immediate, which was funny to me. Just too funny. Okay, we're gonna get in the shade now and I'll be able to read the chat again. You know what's funny? After that wind died down a little bit, that's when my phone started charging up. So now we're at 4%. I love the phones. I love phones so bad. Oh my goodness. Oh, what would we do without phones? Anyway, let's see. What do you mean? Says I walked from downtown to the Commons and was worn out. I try and think of where the Commons is because there's so many places with the name Commons in it. I mean, even the Ridge Road Plaza technically is the Ridge Road Commons Plaza. I just say Ridge Road Plaza because it's easier, but Ridge Road Commons Plaza. So I don't know exactly where that is. Oh man, there's so much. So I'll show this. The Family Dollar is now boarded up entirely and they've had no trespassing signs up. I don't think that back door's been open lately, but goodness gracious, it's crazy to me how often it's open. It is really surprising. There's so many times, even since my that live stream where I had gone inside of there, way back when it wasn't marked or anything. They had the door open several times, several other instances since then. And Of course, if I was on foot and felt like I climbed down the hill and shut the door because I don't want somebody going in there and destroying the place, but anyway, it's completely the Point. Oh, Point Neighborhood Commons. Oh goodness, that's a ways, and that's a hill to climb too, right? Isn't that a hill that you have to climb to get up there, right? I think that's off of. I think I know where that's at. If I'm thinking right, then yeah, there's a hill to climb up, no matter what. So yeah, that's a hard one. Big Lots is still vacant. I'm not even going to worry about it this time because I've already done videos and everything. If you want to see it, you can see it. I've done videos of the book sale being there. The book sale will probably be back this year. So yeah, I'm not even going to worry about that one this time. Yep, all the way up Gardena. I thought so. Yeah, that's a hard hill. When I cycle up that way, I pretty much have to go up Converse and then go over to Powderhouse, and then I still have to hassle that little bit of hill there. That is hard. I guess the other way I could go is Powderhouse, just straight up Powderhouse, which I think I have done on an occasion, but that's a hard hill. Whew. That's hard when you're in shape. Got Rennes Center, of course. They've been here a long time, as I found out when I was doing some research on Bicycle Station. There is some other little fashion-y place or something like that in this spot. It used to be a smaller space, but now they have this huge technically that's 4 tenants. So this is 3503, even though you have 3501 right there. But the weird thing is 3501 also corresponds to these guys right here. So it's kind of confusing, but you know. Yeah, let's continue. Got the Ace Hardware, of course. This was the Party America. Sometime I kind of want to take my new little gimbal camera into the Party America, but I don't know if or when I'll do that. There's a lot of reasons why I want to do that, but anyway, that's besides the point at the moment. Been thinking about getting an e-bike. I think so there is the Rock on Wheels over there, Lincoln Way, next to Holiday Park. And I guess there's some kind of e-bike shop out on I-80, just where it kind of comes along with US 30. So kind of near the fairgrounds over there. Okay, so we got a couple things. So first is the Durr Bar. The Durr Bar used to be the old bicycle station. I wasn't absolutely certain. I mean, I found the right address, but I wasn't absolutely certain until the mayor literally said it himself during his thing on the 24 Sound podcast. It's Durr Bar now. It's an Indian place. Haven't tried it, but I've heard it's good. It used to be in that space. And then right here you had a laundromat. And this appears to be getting replaced. I'm not sure if or when it'll open, but they have a lot of equipment in there. And you can actually see Jagger Hund Brewing, so I'm not sure if it might become some kind of brewery thing. If it does, then it's like, well, I probably won't report on it, not because I don't like them or anything like that. It's just because I don't report on that stuff, but on the liquor stuff. But, you know, it doesn't mean I won't document it. So I guess that's the other side of the equation. For the conversation I was having earlier, O'Reilly also expanded. So this used to be a Checker Auto, and it used to only occupy this part. This part was a separate space, but now it's all one. The plans that they had submitted for the O'Reilly to expand it was showing of possibly expanding the store floor, it looked like, but they didn't, as far as I know. But they might be using it as storage, the other space maybe. I don't know. Let's see, and then we got one other place in this plaza that I definitely want to look at. Yeah, there's that place on Lincoln Way though, and the one out east I noticed was there, but I guess you have to set up an appointment to go there. But it seems like they're still alive, so there's that. Jaggerhund is German for hunting dog. Yeah. I guess I didn't know that. That's interesting to learn. I had never tried translating that before. Okay, so there's the old Absolute Flooring. This is where Spirit was last year. It's totally vacant in here right now. So yeah, of course, like I said earlier in the stream, word on the street is that there is going to be a new business there, but I have no idea what it is, and I haven't heard anything yet. Then of course you got the Party America right there. There is actually a little dance studio thing here. It's not very obvious, but there's a place called Cheyenne Dance Company there. And then got Book Rack, that's ancient. That's kind of, even Tanny Leather, both of those places are kind of staples in Cheyenne at this point. I feel like Dollar Tree, of course. This hasn't really changed. I did a video of the Pickler on their first, I think it was their first day, and it was their grand opening. I guess anyone was invited, so I was like, all right, I'll just go in and do some videoing, and you know, that was that. That was cool. I was able to go up onto the the upstairs patio thing that's in here and see a good view of the store and everything. The Pickler is popping up everywhere lately, it seems like. I think they just opened another new location in northern Colorado a few months ago. They've been expanding a lot, so it's of course pickleball. Who just changed whose prices? Are you talking about Dollar Tree? I'm not sure. Hey, I gotta change my hand. Ooh, that's the one thing that I don't care for with live streaming on foot. I have to carry this gimbal. Now, granted, it's not the heaviest thing in the world. It does a lot of strain on that wrist. And if you carry it for too long in one wrist, then you really kind of, it almost is like, oh, Dollar General? Really? Dollar General changed their prices? That's weird. I got a doozy for you at the end of this year, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Since you say that, I got a doozy for you this year. At the end of this year, last video I post, it'll be after the mall video. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so this is the next place. So Parkway Pizza is now closed. The owners, the most recent owners, unfortunately had hardships that the way they were facing that made running this place a challenge at best. I don't know if I can get rid of the reflection because there's like reflection on reflection going on here, but you know, it's a local pizza place. I think the original owners that I think they would have even ran the one at the mall. That's right, Parkway used to be at Frontier Mall, moved over here. I think the original one, I believe that those owners are in business in a different pizza place right now. I believe they are, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't think of the name of it right now. I should know this one. I'm not gonna go there, never mind. Yeah, anyway. Smoker Friendly had expanded their thing too. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I can't remember. Smoker Friendly had expanded into the Eileen's Cookies, and then of course you have Murdoch's that expanded into the old Verizon space that was here. So this is now part of Murdoch's. I almost keep thinking I want to try and do an update video, but they have a sign explicitly saying they don't want people filming or photographing or anything in there now. So it's like, well, unless they took it down, but yep, it's still there. No audio or video recording. It's like, I'll respect it, but it just stinks because I'd love to do like an update video. The original video I did, I took it down because, well, for a few reasons, but probably the biggest one of all is just because I wanted a little bit more detail on the history and maybe to actually do a little bit better video. But it seems like that's a company-wide thing, because I guess even the one in Longmont has those signs, so, or Loveland or any of those places. I guess Loveland didn't have Murdoch's, never mind. But Longmont though, I had heard that from a local in Longmont that they had this exact same sign put up, and of course I've seen that sign at the Fort Collins location, I think, too, recently. I don't know why they put it up. I could only assume that maybe people were going in and causing them trouble, but who knows. There are a number of channels. I'm not going to name names, obviously. I don't know if I can even think of the name of the channels anymore, but there's definitely a number of channels out there that I swear their core purpose was just going into stores and screwing them up. There's this one video I remember watching probably a decade ago, maybe 2 decades ago now, actually. Well, a decade and a half ago. Would have been like early 2010s. There's this one video I had watched where these guys went into the back of the store on camera. They literally were recording themselves going into the back of the store, not employees. They went in the back of the store and turned the power off in the store. How is that okay? That's my point when I was trying to make it over at when we were at the Taco John's on the DELL Range. When we were at Taco John's on DELL Range, and I was talking about that, I was trying to make that point because it's like there are people out there that unfortunately do that bad stuff and they end up sticking out like a sore thumb, and people doing stupid crap like that is why, a lot of times anyway, I notice that's why the stupid laws get passed. There's so many laws you can look up. They're just so ridiculous that it's like, why does that even exist? And then a lot of times, it seems like it always ends up being a result of people doing stupid crap. That's like no other average person would do it, but for some reason that one person did, and it ruined it for everyone. Scammers are the reason I don't answer phone calls from people that I don't have in my contacts list usually. Very rarely will I answer a phone call from a number that I don't know, because unless I'm expecting a phone call, I don't know who to trust anymore, right? There you go. All it takes is one small group of bad people to ruin things, doesn't it? A lot of times, not always, but definitely a chunk of the times, right? Anyway, Parkway Pizza is closing their doors on November 10th. I'm going to do the cost of health issues. Was that November 10th? Yeah, it was November 10th. I reported on it. Or was it November 9th? 10th, 9th? Initially, when I had done my article on Parkway Pizza, I admit, this is one thing I hate about when people say their last day. Sometimes the way the people word things, that's probably not intentional. But when they talk about the last day, they sometimes word things weird, so where it's like, well, is it actually starting the closing sale that day? Or is it starting like the day before? Or, I don't know. And Parkway Pizza for me was one of those places where the way they initially worded it, it came across as though they were closing the day later than they actually did. So I had to go back and correct my article. So now I can't remember the date without digging up my article. And I'm probably not going to dig it up. Anyway. But yeah, I had reported on it. It was a topic of interest because it's like, wow, that's crazy. I went there a few times when I was a kid, but I don't think I'd been there since, maybe 2010, honestly. Very long time. This is one spot I wish they put in a sidewalk. Oh, there's the East bus. That's funny. I was almost thinking about maybe hopping the East bus and riding downtown, but I wasn't sure. I'm so out of touch. So out of touch with doing live streams because I hadn't done much live streams this year, right? I'm so out of touch with how long it takes to do it that I wasn't sure if I'd make it here in time, but it looks like I actually have plenty of time to walk down the road and come back because the bus would have to come back, but then I'd still have to go over to Dollar General to get picked up on that bus, so I don't know. And I am starting to get worn out, so I don't know if we'll go downtown. I want to, but I'm starting to feel it. I don't want to overdo it. Well, that button's not going to work. Oh well. What can you do? Report it to the Cheyenne on that map thing of theirs. They do actually have reporting portal thing. I had recently reported a issue with a traffic light and they actually went out and fixed it. So I guess that button, that'd be the south, the light right there on the south west corner there, the button doesn't seem to work. It's not beeping and it didn't turn the pedestrian signal. I tried pushing it twice, 3 times maybe, twice or 3 times. Anyway. Oh no, your battery's dying now. At least you're not alive. Your phone will probably charge up. I like my phone. My phone has an auxiliary port. I can plug in a microphone and charge at the same time. Who could have thought? Oh yeah, that's right. Companies these days seem to like to go on the spiral of making things crappier, don't they? Not all companies, but I mean, if I wanted another Samsung, I'd have to get a freaking dongle in order to even charge and use my auxiliary microphone. For videos, it's not a big deal, right? If I'm doing a video of something, you know, I'm not even going to drain my battery hardly at all with that, usually, unless it's like a long video. But when I'm doing a live stream, I need to be able to charge, and I need to be able to charge really effectively without a lot of extra weight. And throwing a dongle, if I had an S25 right now and I put that thing on this gimbal and I tried to use it, it would be weighing it down. The cords I have on it right now, the auxiliary microphone and the charging cable just to go into the gimbal, that alone weighs this thing down a bit to where once my gimbal gets really low, which it is actually getting pretty low right now, it's at 1 star now. So that's another reason we probably won't go downtown today, even though I really, really, really want to. You know, if I had the S25, I'd have to use a dongle with both of those ports on it. Even, unless I get lucky enough to find something that's more solid into the phone and, you know, doesn't dangle off. But even then, it still would add a lot of extra weight to it. That would cause problems for my gimbal, and it might not even work. That's why I don't want to get a 25. I'm not desperate for one. And I'm honestly dead considering a different phone next time. iPhones have the same problem too, if I'm not mistaken. Where they got rid of the auxiliary port, if they ever had it on those, actually. I don't even remember if they did. I wasn't a big Apple guy when I was a kid. Even these days, I don't really use Apple products, but I digress. That's what sucks. I can't really upgrade, otherwise I screw myself over. Even though the camera might theoretically be better, even if we assume the generated image of the moon is a good thing, which I don't think it is, but I digress. Even if we assume that's a good thing, I still lose things that I literally need to use. So it's like if someone gave one to me, I guess I'd live with it, but you know, it would not be my preference. It would not be my choice if I can make it. What phone I'll go to, I don't know, but if I'm going to do live streams like this, I need to be able to plug it into a microphone and plug it into a charging spot with no questions asked. We're at 8%. Yeah, that's the sucky part, right? Eventually, if by some miracle they don't release an update that makes this phone basically a brick, not quite a brick, it would still technically work, but you know, you're gonna have a lot of problems with apps and stuff. Assuming an update doesn't come where that happens. Assuming that apps are still somehow miraculously running fine on this phone. Eventually this phone's still gonna give out, right? It's kind of inevitable. Oh, look at that. There's the bus. Hi, bus. God, I almost could have gone out to Walmart. No, I don't want to go to Walmart. I'd rather go to downtown if I did something. I got distracted a little bit. Yeah, that's the sucky part I don't look forward to, and that's where I have been perusing the possibility of other phones. Completely different brands. But of course, it's going to be hard to find one that's going to come to the level of even this one, right? It's going to be kind of hard. There is one phone that Andrew, Exploring Retails with Andrew, had actually sent me a link to kind of take a look, and apparently Walmart should have a display. I'll explain this in a minute. But yeah, they do need to put in a sidewalk there, goodness gracious. right, I'll explain this now. So this space was originally supposed to be Dirty Dough. This is over here in Pershing Marketplace, College and Pershing. By far one of the most walkable suburban plazas in Cheyenne, in my opinion. I have tried to do an update video on this place twice, and both times I failed miserably. So it's going to be next year before I can try to do a good video of it, and hopefully I can do it better next time. I've done videos of a number of places here. I did videos of Doghouse, Cheba Hut, and WD Nails. So this space was supposed to be Dirty Dough, though, that we're looking at. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. It didn't work out. Dirty Dough seems to be having some, I don't want to say dirty problems, because then that suggests that it's the pizza place issue over again, and it's not. But they have been having problems or something because the Fort Collins one closed. They closed, and they said it, quote, like verbatim, that it was the core issues with corporate for why they closed the Dirty Dough in Fort Collins. And it stinks a little bit because I actually went to that one, and I actually don't mind their cookies. They're decent, and they're different from other places. But Dirty Dough, I think they might still want to do a Cheyenne location. They seem to show interest in that when I had emailed them earlier this year, but I don't know if or when they'll actually come to Cheyenne. Man. Anyway, back to the phone thing. Well, so yeah, Andrew had actually sent me a link to a particular phone that seems like it would actually not be so bad, but I've never used their phones. I want to say it was a Motorola. I think in the past their phones were supposedly pretty sucky, but I don't know how they are now. I've never used a Motorola, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if they're good or not. Maybe they are, but there is one phone from them that I have been considering because it does have the auxiliary port and all that crap that I need to be able to do a live stream properly. So I don't know if I might go to that one. I might go to someone else too if they have a decent phone. It's going to be hard to find one that's like not causing issues, I think. I meant to go down this way. We'll see how I feel when here shortly on this. If I feel like I might go downtown. We'll see. And the wind's picking up a little bit. It's also starting to get just a little chilly. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna show. So over here we got the Christian Brothers Automotive. I had reported on this place. It is nearly built now. They have locations all over northern Colorado. One thing I like about it, they actually did delineate the sidewalk away from the road. So now it's going to be a lot safer for pedestrians going through this spot. A lot less nerve-wracking. Of course, it's only one spot. There's other properties around it that probably, it'd be nice if they would do the same. But I do got to appreciate that they actually did put in the effort to kind of ease into a transition for going between the old sidewalk and the new sidewalk, though. It's one thing that some places, unfortunately, don't do a very good job of, and then you have people crossing through the grass instead of using the sidewalk because, why wouldn't you? But I do gotta appreciate that they actually went through the effort of putting in a little bit of an angled bit instead of just slamming it over. Anyway, Dirty Dough has legal problems, lawsuits. Okay, that's info I did not know. I haven't had, what do I want to say? I haven't had reason to look into their stuff in a while. Aside from just wondering if they're ever going to come to Cheyenne. They did finally remove the Pershing Marketplace location off their website, but it took them like weeks before they did. So there's a several week period where it actually listed Cheyenne coming soon, even though it was not coming soon anymore. All right. Then we got the new Hawk light. I've done videos about this on the Extra channel if you want to know more about it, but they finally put in a hawk light at this location, and I am very thankful they did, because the mess it was before was not good. Cars were not stopping for pedestrians. People were getting hurt. We're not going to cross, actually. We're not crossing. We're going this way. But I have done videos demonstrating it and everything, so. Yeah, whatever Dirty Doe's thing is, they got issues. When I first heard the name Dirty Doe, it was back when, around the same time frame, maybe a few months or something like that, after the whole pizza restaurant thing happened at the mall. If you know, you know. I'm not going to get into it. And for YouTube policy reasons, I probably can't even specify exactly what that's about. But unless I want my channel banned, and I don't. But when I first heard Dirty Doe, because of the context I had of that stupid pizza place, oh, that gross one, oh my God, that ticks me off so bad that I didn't know until after the fact. If I'd known, I probably wouldn't have reported on it, because I would have rather just not even have it. I mean, granted, it's not good to have it there if you have kids and crap, but it's probably good that it's not there for that reason, but probably. I don't want to go into it. Anyway, with that context though, when I first heard Dirty Doe, I was like, no way, not this again. Then I look into it and it's like, oh, it's actually not. A name like Dough Daddy, it's not a good name for a pizza restaurant if you're convicted of certain bad things. I'll just say that. God, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. I hate that article to death. If there is one thing that could have gone viral in mine, I would have rathered anything else. Granted, I wasn't hated on for that. Like, as soon as I found out, I made an effort to do the right thing, but at least what I believe to be the right thing based on how people were reacting and what info people were feeding me that I had unfortunately missed. Apparently ran out of dough. There you go. Sorry if it's a little loud right here. We got a car wash on the left. It's one of the automated ones. Not my preference. I won't go through them, but I know they're very popular. I know the Tommy's Express one usually does all kinds of like seasonal themes and stuff too to make it a little more fun, but not my personal choice. I'd rather just do it myself, but it's just my choice. Anyway, yeah, if you know, you know. Standby News absolutely knows. The article is not up anymore. I took it down because the place is gone. There's no reason to have it up anymore. I think everyone learned a valuable lesson that hopefully will stick for a long time on that. I think I did. I think a lot of other people did. It sucks that one went that way. It really does. Most of the time that's not an issue. Like, something like that does not really happen in my experience when I'm doing stuff about places. It doesn't happen where the owners screwed up or whatever, but you know, if they screw up in other ways, but not something like that. Shoot, man, I can't even laugh at that, but I have to laugh at it because it's so stupid that well, my gimbal is flashing at me, which means my gimbal is going to die, so it doesn't matter if I could go downtown or not. I'm not going to be able to you know, keep going for too much longer. So that's okay. Cold in New Jersey, 24 degrees Fahrenheit. That's chilly. Usually around this time, we don't see anywhere near 60s, so it's weird that we have 60s today. And of course, when I went to Scotts Bluff, it got up to 73 out there. 73 degrees Fahrenheit out there when I went out there. And that was the start of November. I don't know. I don't go to Scottsbluff enough to know exactly how their weather is at that time, but that was a little weird to me and shocking. I was glad, but it is shocking. Speaking of gambling facilities, Dirty Dough, right? No, I'm kidding. It's the Derby Club. They took over the liquor store over here, DT's. Have a good day, what do you mean? Hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, this is probably about it, because my gimbal is flashing at me, which means the battery on my gimbal is about to finally go down and need charged. That's the other thing, my gimbal used to last a little longer on the battery. Just a little bit. I'll look forward to the day that this thing finally gives out, because I'll probably be forced in something else. Hopefully something better, but yeah. Sometimes I miss the 2000s. Sometimes I do. There are certain things that, like 2000s, even early 2010s, not too bad. You know, a lot less division. Quality of products was better. I could go to fast food, and generally I could reliably expect that my order was going to be made correctly, unless that place's name starts in C and ends in S and is colored blue. I'm not going to name the name, but you can probably infer which one I'm talking about. That unfortunately has for more than a decade screwed up every other time I go. But anyway, that's a whole other topic for another day. I keep almost thinking I want to do a video talking about the shitification of retail, and then it's like, well, then I end up making myself not want to do videos, and it's like, that's the last thing I want, so I end up not doing it. Maybe a little rant at the end of the live stream is where it's at, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know, man. Sometimes some of the things these days just drive me insane. It's insane that some of this stuff happens the way it does. Heck with... nope, I'm not going there. I want to go there so bad, but no, it's not the time or place for that. Goodness. Anyway, there are certain things that just drive me crazy. Anyway, I know that's a side tangent, but... Oh yeah, this is the other thing I forgot. So I should have done this when I was over here initially. So over here at Albertsons, the A&B Bank, I totally forgot about this till now. The A&B Bank closed, and there was a lot of speculation as to what it was going to be. Some people thought it was going to be a liquor store. Some people thought it was going to be a coffee shop. Some people thought it was going to be a grocery pickup area. Well, I got news for you. I stepped inside of there earlier today, and I looked to see, because I was genuinely curious before the stream. It is actually a pickup area, okay? They literally have a sign there for like door dashers to go into that area. So it's definitely pickup. It's definitely a pickup area. So that's over here on the right side, just as you go in the right side entry. And that's what's there now. God, that sun's bad. Probably shouldn't be pointing my camera at it. It's not good for my eyes, but it's also not good for cameras to point at the camera. Granted, it's a smaller sensor. The sensor probably may not get screwed up too bad. God, I almost want to go in and show it, but I also don't want to go in with my whole setup. So, yeah, it's just as you go in that entry, though. The bank used to be there, and it's not anymore. Who remembers when the bus picked up out here, right in front of the store? For a while it was picking up at that end, for a while it was picking up at this end. You can still see the pole where it used to pick up right there. Different times, man. In a way, I'm glad that it doesn't, because the route buses would always get behind in the day. I remember when I was a kid, they would always get really far behind. Some of it was just because of traffic, but some of it was because of going into the parking lots. And oh my goodness, that was another time. There are definitely some things that are better now, and the buses are definitely, I think, one thing that overall they are better, but they need more routes. They could use 1 or 2 more routes, maybe 3. But they need more buses to do that. And when will they get new buses? Who knows? Anyway, that's kind of side. Oh, there's the other thing I forgot. I knew there was one other thing. Okay, sorry guys. So we got one more, and then I think I'll wrap up after that. I'm glad I did a circle. I wasn't necessarily intentionally planning that to go that way, but I'm glad I ended up walking a circle because now I can show this. So the church's chicken is now replaced. I keep thinking I might do a video of it, but then I keep not doing it. But it's now called Owen's Hot Chicken. It is a local restaurant, but it's, from what I've been told by people that have gone to Dave's Hot Chicken, it's similar. I haven't been to Dave's. I've been by the Dave's in Fort Collins, but I haven't tried it yet. But I have tried Owen's, and I do like it. It's different than other chicken places. So yeah, I think that might actually be the last thing we wrap up on here. I'd like to cross the street, but I don't know if I'll have that luxury. Right here, we got it. This is one spot I think they could use like a pedestrian crossing, right around this spot. Doesn't have to be in front of Owen's, but right around this area. It'd be nice if they did. Yeah, so that's now Owen's Hot Chicken. It's not bad. If you have a sensitive stomach, someplace like Owen's or Dave's for that matter is probably not going to be the place for you. But if your stomach can take it, it's pretty good. It's a different seasoning, different everything compared to like KFC or something like that. It's not the same. Look at that. People getting distracted on their phones. There's so many reasons why I think American drivers have such a hard time. Some of it is literally the design of the roads. Some of it is that they're distracted on their phones all the time, like that one guy in the truck that we saw earlier. Some of it is that they don't have the education. I mean, it seems like they'll give just about anyone a driver's license here in America, which in some ways is good, but in many ways is also not good. Anyway, sorry, it's a little side tangent again. Oh, there you go. There's a better view of Owen's. Yeah. I guess the owners of Owen's own at least one other restaurant and maybe a few others. I found their name on a restaurant all the way out in Loveland, but it seems like it's mostly local stuff usually. It's not really chain stuff so much. So there's that. And crazy to think of all the apartments they built here. I remember when back before, I think it was around the time churches was abandoned. There was like a old sign laying out here that had the traffic signal ahead sign. And it used to be standing right in front of the old Z's Furnishing building that was here a long time ago. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Kind of trying to picture what that looked like. Because over here you also had like a gray tubular-like building. We have a name for those. I can't think of it right now. Oh my goodness, I'm worn. My gimbal's worn. But anyway, kind of final little side tangents there. I guess I should. Granted, it's a live stream. I probably should do a. How do I want to do this? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Well, that's awkward. I'm not used to doing this on a gimbal. That's weird. I think I want to do it. No, I want to do it like this, but then. Okay, that's weird. We'll just do a center script. There we go. This is a live stream, but you know what? I should give a shout out to my channel members. At the end of the day, they do support the journey. They make it a lot easier to do these videos and live streams and everything. Heck, they're literally helping me out in this case with getting gear that will hopefully last for a little while and help with getting better videos of places like malls and stores and whatnot. Sometime I'll probably do a behind the scenes video of that. What's up, John's Apple? Hopefully I'm saying that name right. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Sorry for the stream kind of coming to an end. I went a little bit too late there maybe on that one. You can rewatch the stream though, so it's not the end of the world. We started out near the Dell Range area, well, right along Dell Range, and then we rode the bus over here and did this area. So yeah, if you want to watch the replay, you can. Up to you, of course. It was a good stream. Yeah, I'm feeling worn. My gimbal's worn. It's time to call it. So next video will be next weekend. That will be a mall video. I'm not going to say which mall yet. Although I think I've subtly been indicative of it at certain times in the recent weeks. I don't want to ruin the surprise on that here. So, you know, if you know, you know, but if not, well, you'll see it soon enough. This weekend I'll be releasing that. I probably will put out Saturday. Probably Saturday and then send out a notification Sunday. And there'll be one more video at the very end of this year, right before the end, like right after Christmas, the weekend after. And that'll be it for 2025 for me. And next year I'll probably be taking a very brief break from uploading so I can get more videos recorded. So January, probably gonna take a little break there for the first week or two at least to get videos and whatnot. Because I want to try and keep stuff relevant to the year. That's the least I want to do. I want to keep it, I don't know, anything on this main channel got to be recorded that year. So, do got some stuff lined up. Going to be hopefully getting out Fort Collins again and that area, and maybe do some videos out there again too. And I know I've had a request for Greeley Mall, so I'm aware of that. I think that's about it. So have a good day, everyone. If I don't see you again before the end of the year, happy holidays. If I do, well, happy holidays anyway. And I'll see you guys in another video or live stream. Until then, peace out, everyone. Have a good day.